What? Why are you? Ah! Hey, camera. How about you stay where I put you, friend? What are you doing? Why don't you stay put? What? This doesn't even count as a technical issue. This is like just an issue with like physics. Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Call, and this is my YouTube channel, and we're gonna work on coloring this cover to the next volume of Age of Night. We spent 2 sessions drawing it, and now I'm gonna start coloring it. I did scan in the pencils to preserve them in case I completely screw this up and feel the need to start over. I will have a copy of it saved. Hey, Rocket Man Art, thanks so much for joining me. So since we're going to do this in colored pencil, I don't really want super dark pencil lines coming through. So I'm just going to kind of lighten everything up a little bit with my kneaded eraser. I'm trying to completely remove any of these pencil lines. We're just making them a little lighter. Hey, Spud. Thanks so much for joining me. So I want to still be able to see them. I also don't want to make weird little smudgy skid marks all over the place if I can avoid it. Just trying to get this to be a little bit less dark. Okay, that's certainly a lot lighter than it was. Picked up a lot of the heavier pencil marks. Just make sure I don't have a bunch of smudgies everywhere. That's looking a lot better. A lot lighter, a lot better to build the colors up on that. So I have my very many colored pencils over here. I have like four trays approximately this large. But we're gonna start with a purplish blue. So what I like to do is this is how I learned how to color when doing colored image like this, is to kind of do like block in some of your basic colors and figure out basically where your shadows are before you go in and start like working out the local colors and details on any one little piece. You kind of do a couple of overall passes and then start honing it down. And I'll show you what I mean as we go. So I'm going to start with just like one color. This is going to be, what is this color called? Blue. I don't speak French. Their friend Blue Denims. I don't. Are these all in French? Raw umber fit. No, the second one is Blue Denims. I don't know. So this Rocket Man is the cover to my 4th volume of my comic Age of Night. So my webcomic Age of Night has been running for a long time. And I have 3 volumes of it already published. So like I update all the time on the internet at ageofnight.com. But then every so many chapters, I collect them into a graphic novel, like a trade paperback sort of situation. And this is going to be the cover for volume 4 because I have all the pages done for volume 4. I just haven't put them all together into a book yet. So we're just going in very lightly. I do want to make sure that I do not go too heavy right at the start because it's colored pencil. You can't like take it back off if you decide that you didn't do something, that you did something you didn't want to do. Doesn't really erase. There's no control Z. Not a thing. But anyway, how is everybody doing? How was your week? This is rather a large area to fill in. Take me a second. I just want to make sure I still go slow and even and get a nice even coverage and don't start going at it like an impatient toddler, which can be a challenge. Any more action over there? No? Week was good. Working on Asphalt Divine. Asphalt Divine. I misread the punctuation there. Asphalt Divine Justice Volume 5. Nice. My eggs started hatching. I have one chick. So if you hear any peeping, I think it's asleep right now, but if you hear any peeping in the background, that is what it is. It's a chick. It's my little chickie that hatched. But we've got like 30, we had 34 eggs. Now one of them hatched. So 33 eggs in the incubator. So we'll see what happens. I did not get around to candling them. So I was just like, we'll see what happens. And I have at least one chick. At least one of them hatched. I got the eggs from my brother-in-law, and he was very much like, I don't know if any of these are going to hatch. I don't know if my rooster is doing his job at all. I never see him doing the things that he's supposed to be doing as a rooster, so I don't know. I was pretty sure that at least some of them would hatch. This is like early, but you usually get a couple that are a day or two early. This chick is technically 2 days early. But doing totally fine. Spry little chickie, looking nice and healthy. Getting little bits of blue pigment all over the place. So as you can see, I'm already trying to bring some form into this tree here. It's mostly going to be in a fair amount of shadow, just a little bit of moonlight outlining it. All right. Yes, so as you can see, this initial stage takes a little while. We're slowly building up a bunch of these tones and shadows. How was Easter? Easter was good. So Easter had always been like my mother-in-law's big family gathering that she would host. And it's just kind of a lot of work to host. So now I kind of help her. So it's still at her house, but I try to make sure that I coordinate with like all the other family members to make sure that everybody brings something to eat and we get everything covered. And so she basically just has to like make a dessert and make sure there's enough like plates and cups for everybody. But we make sure that all the other like food and everything is taken care of and help to clean up afterwards and everything. And all of the little cousins, so that's all of my kids' little cousins came and had a big egg hunt, so that was fun. We filled lots and lots of little plastic eggs, hid them all around outside, watched the little kids run around and hunt for them, and it was frickin' adorable. It was so much fun. They loved it. It's nice to get together with everybody, so we had a good time. All right, so now we're gonna start figuring out some of the shadows on here. This is basically just where the very darkest shadows are going to be that I'm figuring out for now on like the figures, because again, I can't take anything away, so I want to approach this kind of slowly and carefully. But how about you, Rocket Man Art? How was your Easter? Do anything fun? A hand that gave me so much trouble drawing it last week. So very much trouble. All right, we got a figure. First pass of that done. We're gonna need to sharpen our pencil some more. So as we move down into more of these figures down here, we have to be aware that we have, at least on this figure, maybe a little bit on this figure, there's another light source over here. For the most part, our big light source is the moon, and a certain amount of like it's lit that way because I say so. But I want to not abuse that too much. So there is going to be another light source over here, so it's just something to watch out for as we're starting to work on some of these other figures. All right. Try to get a little bit of form going here where again it's like I want to start getting some of these shadows built up, but I have to sneak up on it. Oh my goodness, bless you. I don't know if you guys can hear my husband's face explode from all the way all the way through the internet. Always got to do the dad sneeze. All right. Two entire figures done on the first pass, and it only took us what, almost 30 minutes. Colored pencil takes a long time, you guys. It's not a speedy medium by any means. So the idea is that after I'm done with this pass, you should still totally be able to see like what this image is and have a basic idea of like what the lighting situation is going to be on here. There might be a couple points in the process where the image looks a little bit weird, but you should never be like, wait, what am I even looking at? As you can see, we've got like pretty clear what's going on. You can still see all of the image. It all makes visual sense still, even if it is all just blue and white right now, which is a little bit odd. Oh, I can hear my chickie waking up. Hear a little chick going cheep, 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 cheep. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, if my mic is picking it up. It's being very loud. It's being insistent. Hey, Hungry. How are we doing today? Oh, I need to sharpen this pencil again. It's getting kind of dull. He's getting so dull. I mean, not really, just I have to do a lot of little detaily bits, so to make sure it stays nice and sharp. So I can get into every little bit. That is, I think, one of my favorite things about the Caran d'Ache Luminance color pencils is that the pigment does not constantly crumble away while you sharpen it. That drives me so insane when the Prismacolors do that. All right. Is that all of her? I guess that was it. I guess that was it for her. She's mostly covered up by other figures, so that works. And of course, Kamaria has black hair, so there's going to be a lot of the blue here because it's going to be a very dark color. So we can start building up a little bit of that color already. I don't have to be quite as ginger approaching it. Of like, oh no, I don't want to get it too dark. It's going to be pretty dark, so it's okay. Ah! Ah! Get off of there. Get off of there. What do you think you're doing? All right. Now we just have Drake and a little bit of Stonewall situation to fill in. Again, Drake is also a character who is entirely colored black. So while I do want to be careful not to just turn him into a blob, there is a certain amount of like, I don't have to be quite as gentle sneaking up on the darker tones with him. Okay, we've got a Drake. We've got a couple sections of wall. We're already like 43 minutes into this stream because that is how colored pencil drawing goes. It takes forever. Oh, whoops, I didn't do Kamaria's boot down here. Silly. It's like all of this is still going to have some amount of a tone on it. It's not going to be super bright. We're still establishing like our basic words, values. There we go. I couldn't think of the term. The value, how light or dark something is. Still establishing the basic values for the whole piece. Okay, are we finally done with blue? Oh boy, well, it only took us most of an hour, but we finally finished blue. Yay. Yay. All right, so here's basically how this works, okay? So that I do a big blue pass, and then I do like a dark red, and then I also do a dark yellowy brown, like a yellow ochre. What I got? Is this a good yellow ochre? This is raw sienna. What does that look like? Yeah, that's yellow ochre as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, the next pass will be this dark red and then the raw sienna yellow ochre color. And that will be like the whole first pass of values. So you could see how long that took. So it's kind of up to y'all. Let me know, sound off in the comments if you want me to work on this a little bit between streams and like get some more of the basic value building done off camera, because as you can see it does take a very long time to do each one of these passes, because I got to do pretty much the same thing with two more colors before we start doing any local color. um so yeah, if that is something that you really want to see the whole process on camera, I am not in a huge hurry putting this book together right now, so we could do some more of that. You can see here I'm starting to build up the red while I jabber on the sky, and how that is helping to deepen the tone here. So yeah, let me know if y'all would like me to proceed with this whole very slow color process on stream, or if you would like me to skip ahead, or don't mind if I skip ahead a little bit off stream and then we do a maybe slightly more exciting part of this process on stream next time. But if you want to watch the whole process and the way it slowly comes together, that's cool too. We could do either way. I am pretty easygoing about either one, so just let me know. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, Spud. It does the way it starts to slowly come together is pretty cool. And personally, it drives me just a mite bit nuts when I watch like time lapses of people doing color work or whatever, and they just do the thing where they just like pick one spot and fully render it, and everything else around it is just like white. And hey, I get that it looks really cool on camera, and I'm sure that some people do legitimately like learned to draw that way and are just like, yeah, this is how I do it. But it is so not the way I learned how to do it, and I'm just like, ah. I see them doing that, and I'm like, what are you doing? No, stop it. All right, so we're in the last 10-ish minutes of the stream. So I'm going to do the YouTube things real quick while I finish a little bit more of this sky in red. Remind you, I'm Amanda Gall, and this is my YouTube channel where I do lots of different art. Usually I'm working on comics. Currently I'm not working on comics so much as I'm working on the cover to the collected volume 4 of my webcomic Age of Night. All of the pages have been done for a while. I just need to work on actually putting it into a book together, and part of that involves making a cover for the book, so that's what we're working on. You can read my comic Age of Night at ageofnight.com. That's ageofnight.com. Updates every Wednesday and is totally free to read online. Of course, as I mentioned, I'm collecting it into a book, which means that there are ways that you can help support me, like buying the other books. Volumes 1 through 3 are available on all sorts of digital comic buying applications, stores, and things. You can also support me on Patreon, which can be found at patreon.com/ageofnight, spelled the same as the website. Patrons get all of their web pages a week early, so they're always a little bit ahead in the comic story. And they get to see other behind the scenes stuff I'm working on, other projects, just all sorts of neat stuff. I try to make it worth your while, and I just really appreciate it because it helps me out a whole bunch. If you like to keep up with whatever it is I'm doing, you can follow me here on YouTube or various other social medias. I am on most of them to varying degrees as either Age of Night or Amanda Call Art. All right, can we fill in this big open space before we reach the end of time? What else is going on? That is really it for right now. I don't have anything else super exciting going on right at the moment. We'll give a shout out to my friend Alan Barr, who sometimes comes and comments or just lurks. I don't know. He might be here more than he shows up and pesters me in the comments, but you'll frequently see him here in the comments. And he currently has a Kickstarter for his new game, Siege Perilous, which is a role-playing game where you're playing Arthurian knights, and it is really cool. So you should check that out. And I might be doing some bonus artwork for it if, in fact, we reach that stretch goal. Although I haven't checked lately. Maybe we already have. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm bad at keeping up on where these things are at. All right. That is going to be the end of time. We worked for a whole hour on this, and we got all of the blue first color pass in there, and I started in on the dark red color pass. We're slowly building up our tones, figuring out what our values are going to look like for this piece as we work our way towards a full color presentation. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with me, and I will see you all next time. Bye.